Hello and welcome to Financial Education for the Nation. My name's Warren Shute and today it's the Roaring Twenties. Okay, Roaring Twenties. Today is 2022 and I am extremely optimistic and excited about the future. I was trying to think of a good verb there to describe how I feel about the future, but I would say excited about the future is a great way because I kind of know an idea of what's in the pipeline, about what's coming. But if I ask you, how do you feel about the future? What do you say? Are you optimistic? Are you excited? Are you worried? Are you unsure, uncertain? I write an annual letter to my clients at my financial planning firm, Lexington Wealth, every December. And this year I expressed how excited and optimistic I am about the future and investing in general. Many people have struggled during the pandemic because of job losses and being furloughed and uncertainty of income, if you're running your own business, that kind of thing, particularly hospitality. There's been a lot of people who have really sort of had it tough. Yet there have been very many people who have flourished. They've been working from home, so they've not had the travel commitments. They might have been furloughed and actually had more money in their bank at the end of the month than they would normally because they haven't got all the additional expenses. But a lot of us, it's fair to say that for a lot of us, our spending over the last 2 years has been a lot less than it is generally. We've all maybe had to postpone holidays, we've maybe cancelled holidays, we've postponed social arrangements with friends and gatherings, weddings, birthdays, significant birthdays at least, home improvements, things like that. We've kind of, things are very, very slowly sort of coming back to norm. But I think for a lot of people, a lot of things have been put on hold. And there's a lot of pent-up demand. I still speak to a lot of clients who have not been away on holiday, who have not traveled because of the uncertainty and the fear they've got around traveling. So imagine when all that goes away, I believe, in the next 2 years. You're going to have a lot more people wanting to travel and go away on holiday. And when you go on holiday, it's not just the travel company that benefits, because typically you then prepare yourself. So you get some maybe new clothes, you might get some new luggage or something. You buy insurances, you might have to take the pet to the housing place, the kennel, to get looked after. All these additional things start happening when you go on holiday. And that is an economic cycle. One person's spending is another person's income. So that's how this economic cycle works, and that's what's really happening. I'm excited about the pent-up spending that I believe is coming, particularly over the short term, over the next couple of years, when people actually really do start returning to some normality. And remember, the UK and arguably America and a lot of the developed worlds are ahead of a lot of the rest of the world in coming out of the pandemic. So it won't all happen in one go. There'll be a knock-on effect as countries like the UK and the US come out, and then other countries start coming out as well. But also I'm very excited about sort of a tech-led revival. My business particularly has catapulted into the 21st century over the last 2 years with the access to video conferencing and electronic signatures and such like, remote working. We weren't anywhere near as advanced as we are today going back 2 years ago. And I get impressed how my 80-year-old mum will use FaceTime. She'll speak to her friends and also her family in Australia on FaceTime and stuff. My 97-year-old father will use Oculus. So I've got an Oculus headset from Facebook. He'll do a VR on there and he'll go traveling through the Alps and stuff. And he'll just sit there very, very happily looking at what's going on. These technologies, everything from FaceTime, which we take for granted, to Oculus, to video conferencing, to electronic signatures, cloud working, are the beginning, really are the infancy of what is to come with technology. And quantum computing, having augmented reality and artificial intelligence really help us deliver better experiences, both in driverless cars to, I saw the first electric plane flew the other day. So these things are here. So it's not the future, they're present. It's just in the early stages. And these things are going to drive the economy forward. You even look at the new vaccine technologies, the delivery of this and how it was developed. And I don't know if you're aware, last year we also developed the malaria vaccine was first developed as well with messenger RNA technology. So this, coupled with the sustainability approach and the environmental consciousness of generation Y, Z and Alpha, really pushing forward to make sure we progress in a sustainable and environmental way, I really think brings an incredible roaring 2020s for us. The first 2 years have been incredible. As I do this recording, we're having a bit of a bubble at the moment, but things don't go up in a straight line, and that's why you're rewarded as an investor for having patience of time in the market and not trying to time the market. It's been incredible. When I first started investing back in 1995, I placed my trades over the telephone. I didn't really have internet access to my account, and it was very expensive for me to do so. I was actually trading in the US market because I found it too incredibly difficult to open up a brokerage account in the UK. The UK was that far behind back in 1995, which is astonishing. Today, for less than 1%, you can buy some of the world's greatest companies, Amazon, Apple, Johnson & Johnson, Tesla, in one fund for less than 1%. It's just incredible what you can do. So you can access and participate in the growth of the economy and the world in general just for less than 1%. So if you're sat here sort of thinking, well, I just don't know where to start. I'd like to invest. I'd like to participate in the roaring 2020s that Warren is sort of saying. I do agree that the medication technology, the treatments that we've got, the driverless cars and the augmented reality and the things that are surrounding there are developing, the telecommunications and everything else is all just the start of what's going to happen. But I don't know where to start. The MSCI World Index Fund is a great opportunity for you to buy in for less than 1% of the world's, buy into the world's economy for less than 1%. Some of the greatest companies in the world will be in this fund, this index, and you can then just enjoy the ride, go back and sit back. Now, it's not always going to be a straight line. It's not always going to be up. You can have volatility. And as I said, at the moment, we've got a bit of a bubble of volatility of things pulling back. But over time, these companies make good profits because they're delivering good products that you like. And those profits increase the value of the company. And that's why the company's share price goes up. If you want to know more about it, check out my website, lexo.co.uk. On Lexo, I have a range of portfolios going from no stock market exposure all the way through to 100% stock market exposure. And they're very, very well diversified funds. You can see on there how these have actually performed and what they've done. And you might be pleasantly surprised. So if you're thinking about investing, think the world stock market, think MSCI, think simplistic. Don't think cryptocurrencies or NFTs and things like that. If you're interested in those, perhaps buy some for interest, because I know that'll always be nagging in your mind, but really for an investment strategy, they shouldn't be part of your portfolio. So give you a bit of a lowdown on the MSCI World, just in case you're not familiar with it. The MSCI World is the Morgan Stanley Capital Index. It's an index of 23 developed markets around the world. And within the index, there are around 1,546 individual companies. And like I said, the likes of Apple, Google, Amazon, Johnson & Johnson, Tesla, they're all in that index there. So you can buy just with one investment, all 1,546 companies for less than typically 1% a year. 69% of the index is in the US. Now that's up from 66 last year. So you can see the US is a country is expanding and growing. And the UK is just over 4%, and that's shrinking. That was about 4.3% last year. So that just shows that the US is growing. That's typically, if you look at the likes of Apple becoming the first $3 trillion company, and Microsoft and stuff like that growing over $2 trillion, that's what's taking that lion's share up. Now, the best return for a UK investor in the MSCI world was in 1982 when it delivered 68% in 1 year. Okay, that's the very best. The very worst percent was in 1973 when it lost 37%. So these things aren't for the light-hearted, okay? So you don't go in there thinking, I never want my money to go down in value. It will go down in value. That is a certainty. It will go down in value. But if you hold on over time, you should be rewarded for this. And Apple is the most valuable company in the index, and that's got about 4.7%, so almost 5% of the overall index. That's a big chunk. But like I said, Apple is a tremendous company producing great profits. So the purpose for this was to explain to you why I'm optimistic about the future. Okay, it's based on the fact that I see what we're touching on now with technology, and I see how this is going to develop going forward. If you want to participate in that growth, rather than trying to choose individual companies, just buy one index, the MSCI World Index. It covers the developed part of the world, and it allows you exposure to that. You can see how to do that through lexo.co.uk. So you can go to lexo.co.uk. There's more information on there, or drop me a message. I'm very happy to share any information with you. I hope this has been helpful. My name's Warren Shute. This has been Financial Education for Nation. Please do like and share this show, and give me any comments and the things you'd like me to cover in future episodes. Until next time, take care. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. There's a great number of back issues to go through, and remember, what makes us different on your financial journey is the support with access to downloads and templates on warrenshute.com, the YouTube videos and podcasts, as well as access to me, a multi-award winning certified financial planner and certified international coach. So please do engage, and let's get your finances sorted together.